You know, I don't think there's anything better than a pick-a-brick day, is there? I mean, you wait for the mail to be delivered because you know you have an order of pick-a-brick coming, and then you open it, and there's all those parts, and you have the fun of counting them and putting them together. And this is only my second pick-a-brick order ever, but I'm so excited about it and what I got that I came out of my holiday hiatus just to share quickly what I ordered and the kind of lore that I've created around it. So in a minute, I'm going to show you a little video of my lore that I created around these parts. But first, welcome. I'm Tom Bray since 1954, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yeah, I wanted to just mention I'm wearing headphones today because I have a new microphone. Not that I need a new microphone, but I'm a nerd, and I love microphones, and I love broadcasting. And so I've always wanted a ribbon microphone, and so I have this one now. And a ribbon mic has that big traditional radio warm sound to it. Now, there's nothing that sounds quite like a ribbon mic. So thanks for letting me digress. I don't know how it's going to sound on YouTube, which is why I'm testing it out and why I'm wearing headphones so I learn how to use it. You can leave me a comment if it sounds okay to you, because I hope to continue using this. But let's get back to why you're here, which is a pick-a-brick order. I had a couple of things I wanted to stick with when I bought this order. The first one was to stay within $100. Of course, I failed miserably because I ordered $125 worth of pick-a-brick parts, but I don't care because I got some really good stuff and I created some really good lore around it, which I'm going to share with you in just a minute. But first, let me talk about the criteria I had in the parts that I picked. The first criteria was I wanted to build out my armies, my established armies. And the second was I wanted to create some kind of new fantasy character. And I knew I wanted to use skeleton parts, and so that's what I ordered. The third thing is I wanted to start creating an army of civilians. I don't have very many, and so I wanted to at least start that journey. And the fourth was to do something interesting with my favorite castle faction, which is the Forestmen. And I wanted to create some new lore and a new squad and something new, using mostly Forestmen parts and putting something interesting together. So that's what I did, and I think you'll find it interesting. I'll show it to you in just a minute. So first, let me show you what these parts look like. Here they all are, all lined up. The Black Falcon and the Lion's Knights liveries, and some horses to put them on. I also bought 4 soldiers and all their kit for my Eldorado Fortress. I was concerned that I was going to miss out on those parts because I think the Eldorado is retiring this year. I also bought some pirate parts. I need to still buy some more caps. Finally, some skeleton parts for the new faction that I'm building, which you'll see in a minute, and those Forestmen parts that I told you about. So now let's get to the lore that I created, and I suppose the best way to do that is to start by saying, in my Lego kingdom, change is in the air. It is a time of rebuilding, a time for recruitment. More fresh troops for the Lion Knights and the Black Falcons. In the combined kingdoms of the good, a squadron of civilians have made their way to the castle, promising to do everything they can to fight the forces of darkness. Meanwhile, the Forestmen have formed a brand new division of fighters, the Order of the White Feather, archers trained in the art of the crossbow by the eldest member of their tribe, assisted by the bowmaster. And all these troops will be needed, for in the kingdom of the evil, a new skeleton squad has been created, the Legion of the White Blades, an undead elite squad of troops who fight with enchanted white swords, terrifying their enemies. Will the forces of good and their fresh troops make the difference in the fight against evil? The answer lies in the future, and no one can be sure of the outcome. Anyway, that was the lore I created. I had a really great time doing it. Let's take a closer look at 2 of these things that I created. You've already seen civilians. You know what they look like, and and I'm sure you've done that a million times. Let's look at the skeleton crew. First of all, I loved the idea of white helmets kind of against those bleached bones, the idea of that glistening in the sun. And the white swords, I thought was just a really cool idea. Sharp white swords with a white helmet on white bones. I hope to change out the shields very soon for white shield. So I'm really happy with this, and I think I want to, in the next order, grab another 6 of these so that I have a squadron of 12. And then probably the thing that I'm most excited about is these Forestmen Order of the White Feather, which are Forestmen that are trained in the use, not in the traditional bow that you usually see Forestmen with, but in a crossbow. And I thought it would be cool to have a group of Forestmen that use that bow. And so we might as well have a lore around it and a special squadron. And so that's what I did. And I also liked the idea that they were trained and created by elders. And so I had some white beards that I ordered in this and some white hair. And so I created the master on horseback. I've never put a Forestman on horseback before. I wonder if you have. And also the bowmaster who trains these troops. And then, of course, the white feather. Now, the torso I used is different than the traditional Forestman's torso. It's actually a civilian part from, I believe, the Lion's Knight's Castle. I just ordered a bunch of those, and I put them with the normal legs and the hat, and just added the new white feather. So I'm very happy with this. I'd love to know what you think. And also, what about you? Have you ordered a Pick-a-Brick order lately? And if so, what are you doing with it? And what are you building that's new for your factions or your armies? I'd love to hear from you because I always enjoy hearing about what you're up to. Until next time, thank you so much for your support and happy building. Take care.